Alright everybody, welcome to Take a Hike. Where I live in Alabama, it's 94 degrees, 68% relative humidity. It's like tropical hot out there, so me and Grandma, we're not doing much hiking right now, but I did have a question for you. Do you take a backpack when you go on these little hikes, little day hikes? You know, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. You don't really have to, but a lot of people do. And what do they take when they go? Well, you get your little backpack, and most folks will at least throw in some water. You know, everybody needs a little bit of water. You get hot, you get thirsty. But one thing I like to carry is some snacks. Just, you know, everybody loves some snacks. But I am a diabetic, so I gotta have extra sugar. What do you use for a backpack? I mean, you can take something like this. Something like you kids take their books to school. Shoot, I climbed all over the mountains of Tennessee up there in Gatlinburg with something like that. If all you've got is water and snacks, that's all you really need, just something like that. But on some of our little adventures, I actually cut my finger or thumb or something, and I thought, you know, it'd be pretty easy to carry just a little first aid kit. And first aid kits come in all different shapes and sizes. You can get them that are really small. You can get them that are really big, like something you keep in your house. You can make your own if that's what you want, to kind of meet your own personal little needs. But what I found for backpacking, what I really liked, was this. One thing I really like about this is it's cheap. $10 at Academy Sports and Outdoors. And one of the things that kind of drew me to it is it's not just first aid, it's also survival quick grab. Yeah, I don't know too much about the quick grab, but this right here offers a lot of things that you don't always necessarily know you need. Now, this isn't everything you need. There's also a few other things that will come in handy. One other common item you might want to carry with you would be something as simple as a little knife. And it doesn't take much. It could do a good little bit of things for you. Or a slightly larger knife. Or a slightly larger knife. Or slightly larger knife. Or slightly larger knife. That's not a knife. Now that's a knife. But you don't have to have a knife. Sometimes there's a better option. One product that does a lot of things, and one of the things that I like is a multi-tool. I mean, check that bad boy out. You can do a lot of stuff with that. You know them pesky nose hairs you can't get out that tickle? Oh yeah, you reach right up in there, pluck out 5 or 6 at a time if you need to. Now, there's a lot of different multi-tools on the market, and the prices range all over the place. This is just an inexpensive Ozark Trail I actually picked up at Walmart for like $6 or $8. And it's got a lot of the standard little things on it, the different screwdriver tips and all that. But the thing to remember, some of these aren't made out of stainless steel and they'll rust, and others, even this one, the blades don't actually lock. Nothing actually locks. So when you're trying to tighten a screw, it's fiddly and it makes you want to throw it. But some of the better ones, I don't know which ones necessarily, you just have to do your research, like Gerber and some of those, or this one, which is a Leatherman, they actually lock. And I mean, that's great, man. You're not going to cut your hands, you're not going to cut your arm off, you're not going to stab yourself in the eye with it. It's not going to be aggravating. You just gently lock it in place. Put it where you want it. Do what you need to do. but it's a lot more money. What do you want to spend? You're never ever going to hardly use it. Something like this, $5, $10, $15 might be all you need to spend. But if it's something you want to use more often, maybe you need to spend a little more. I think this one retails for about 80 bucks. How often are you going to use it? How much do you need to spend? That's really up to you. Another item you may want to have is some kind of a flashlight. I mean, phone does pretty good, but it wouldn't hurt to have just a cheap flashlight. You know, little Harbor Freight tools. Nothing, doesn't take much. Just something just in case of emergency. One thing to remember about flashlights though is most batteries, especially cheap batteries like these, will leach out and ruin the whole flashlight if it's stored for very long. So either store it with no batteries in it at all, or get some good batteries. These are rated for like 10 years storage, so that's probably one of the better ways to go for any type of item that only gets used every once in a while. Another just in case item wouldn't hurt to be just a cigarette lighter. This one, I've kind of put a little safety on it right here, because if you leave this in your bag, sometimes the button gets smashed and you can actually run out of propane and never actually use it. Also, I've got a little bit of duct tape wrapped around here because, Lord, you can fix anything with a little bit of duct tape. A couple more really common items that a lot of people don't think about would be something as simple as some sunscreen. I mean, a lot of us don't stay out in the sun all the time. Do you really want to be a redneck? Another thing you might want to think about is carrying a little bug spray around with you. Something you can spray on, keep the mosquitoes off. No, wait, that's not it. Yeah, something you can spray on you to keep the mosquitoes off. So here's the first aid part of this kit. I kind of like it. It's generalized stuff, you know, for boo-boos and stuff like that. Normal, ordinary, everyday Band-Aids, some wipes and some antiseptic and creams. Got just a couple gauzes and patches and stuff for some slightly larger. And then this. You can trim your ear hairs with that, probably. I don't know if it'll cut through a pair of blue jeans or not, but the idea is cut the pants out of the way, get to the boo-boo, fix it up. Don't forget to wear your examination gloves. And it's got a whole bunch of tape. Yeah, that'll go a long ways. But for a start, it's not a bad base. So what I did, I just added some stuff to it. Because that's not really enough. I like this stretchy stuff. You can hold a bandage in place. You could make a splint. You could wrap that around your neck and down around your arm to support your arm. Let's say you fall, sprain your elbow, your wrist, your whatever. You got to support it, or put a tourniquet, or put a splint. It also doesn't come with just like aspirin, plain old Tylenol. Sometimes you get out on the trail, it's hot, it's thirsty, you get a little headache, some Tylenol. Now, how cheap is that? You can afford to put a little triple antibiotic. Good stuff. And y'all know what that is. Good stuff. Extra gloves. Everybody's got gloves. This is all first aid, but the survival items would be something more like that. What that is, that's a Mylar blanket. They don't look like much, but if you're going into shock, you're freezing cold, you're soaking wet, that right there will reflect a lot of your body heat to you. It might, I don't know if it'll save your life or not, but it might make you feel a lot more comfortable in them situations. And then one or two other little items, like this, a one-size-fits-all poncho. Dun, dun, dun. And that one's orange, so you can see it from a long way off. Especially if you're a Tennessee football fan, you might really like that. Ponchos, I like them. Last couple things that come in this kit I thought I'd mention. ferro rod and a striker. You know, it works. That rascal is small, but if that's all you got, it really does. Oh, it put my eye out. It did. Not the best quality product, but it does make a spark. And safety pins. I mean, like a lot of safety pins. You could put your life back together if you have enough safety pins. Maybe not. Duct tape. You can do everything with duct tape. Duct tape's great. You can repair your gear. I've seen people out on the trail where their kids would blow out a flip-flop or the sole come off a cheap pair of tennis shoes. You could actually tape your shoes back together and keep right on trucking. Duct tape, good stuff. This is, it's a whistle, it's a compass, it's a thermometer, it's a magnifying glass, and you know, you need a whistle, because you sit there and holler for help long enough, that whistle will carry a lot further, people will hear it. The thermometer, I'm not exactly sure you're going to be able to change the temperature if you don't like it, so what good is that? Is the button compass accurate? So I don't know that I trust that compass too much. It also comes with cordage. It don't come with this cordage though. This ain't from this. It came with orange cordage. Look, cordage can do you some good. Sometimes you just need to tie something up. You never know. But not this cordage. So, one last item of survival gear. It's really for emergencies that, especially now that well, let's face it, I'm getting old, that I don't always know I need, but I really am glad to have it. Yeah, some type of wipes. Antibacterial, fine, fresh scent, wonderful. Long as it's moist and soft and cleans my eyes, my hand, my forehead, my ears, whatever gentle, soft part of my body I may want to wipe off in the woods like a bear. There you go. That'll do it. So, in conclusion, if you're going to keep something in your backpack, it ought to be more than just a bottle of water or a lot of water or even more water and more than snacks. Maybe at least a little first aid kit and then a few other things depending on how much room you got and what's just practical for how long a hikes you're going on. A 15-minute hike, no big deal. But if you walk 2 miles down in the woods, up the hills, down the hills, over rocks, roots, vines, sticks, twigs, chipmunks, rattlesnakes, bobcats, alligators, accidents can happen. Will you need a full-fledged survival kit? Yeah, probably not. But for $10 and a few other little items, you're pretty much covered. So my thought is, take a hike, but take a few precautions. See you next time.